Good afternoon, sports fans. My buddy pointed out to me that the Hare's Ear Wet that I built earlier, I made some mistakes on it. So we're going to rebuild that. So the hook that I'm going to tie this on is a little bigger so that you can see what's going on with it. It's a 3906B Mustad number 8. I'm going to use brown 140 denier thread for the head. The tail is fibers off of a pheasant tail. The dubbed body is I'm going to use Perfect Hatch Hare's Mask dubbing. Excuse me. The wire rib, I'm going to use UTC copper wire in a BR. Now, take that back. It's a gold ribbed wet. So I figure maybe I should use some gold rib instead. So there's some gold rib instead. By the way, this is what happens to your wire if you don't put it away properly. So I'm going to tie in about 2 eye widths back from the back of the eye. I'll get me a little thread base here. And then the first thing that's going to go on is my tails. So it's a wet fly. So the tailing isn't, it can be tail filaments or it can be a shuck. It's just a suggestion, but you want it about a shank length. So lay it across the top of the shank. You trim that off. Okay. Next is going to be your wire ribbing. Old scissors. I'm going to trim that off. I want to make sure I got plenty of wire for the ribbing. I'm going to have to take that off and re-spool it. That's for another day. So you want to try to cover up that wire best you can, because the next thing you're going to do is add your dubbing. You're going to put your dubbing on in very small amounts. See, a little wisp. Start it down away from the shank, and then you push it up. Once you start to get a base in, then you can start to get a taper going. Because the body has a taper to it. Now you can use any of the hare's mask dubbing that you would use for a gold-ribbed hare's ear nymph. I'm using the Perfect Hatch because I had it handy, but Hareline makes a hare's mask dubbing. Nature's Spirit has a hare's mask dubbing. I mean, you know, just about everybody does. It's a pretty common color. And notice I'm stopping my body up here behind where I'm going to put my collar in. Okay, then I'm going to counter wrap my wire. That means wrap it to me. If you're one of those that when you're building your fly, you build it wrapping towards yourself, then a counter wrap would be wrapping away. But I was taught when you build your fly, you wrap away. So that's what I do, and that's what I teach. All right. Now, here comes the tricky part. So like I was telling you earlier with the wet fly hackle tutorial, you want to measure the hackle barbs against the shank of the hook. See that? Those are about right. Maybe a little longer. Maybe just a hair longer. Yep, there we go. So it's not really so much, you're not measuring it against the hackle gauge. That's for dry fly hackle. See, when you splay those back, they should be see where they're going to fall. All right. Now, with this fly, I will take the top hackles off, the ones that are up. With the shiny side toward you, take the top layer, or the top side. If the shiny side towards you, it'll be your left side. And leave yourself a little tip up here at the top to tie it, attach it. All right. Trim that sucker off. Get on it with your hackle pliers. And then you want to stroke these back as you're pulling this over. Bobbin slipped out of my hand a little bit there. And you add your head. Now maybe my head's a little long, but there you go. Here's your wet fly. Okay. Put a little dot of head cement on top just to hold everything down, but that's what a Hare's Ear wet fly looks like. Now there are some folks that'll add a wing. I don't, but some folks do. Remember, there is no such thing as wrong. Okay? If you're following a pattern, then follow the pattern. But, you know, if you're just being creative because you're trying to make something that you saw out there in the field someplace, then, hey, you know, go at it. The only way you're going to find out whether it's, you know, effective or not is to ask Mr. Fish. So, there you go. Here's your wet fly. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please like and subscribe. This is George with Custom Tied Flies and Guide Service. Our website is www.custom-tied.com. That's CUSTOM-tied, TIED.com. Have a splash, don't forget the dash. And you can find us on the Custom Tied Virtual Fly Shop is on Facebook at Custom Tire 02. Thank you for enjoying this tutorial, and happy tying.